crazy friends, it's Frances with Find Your Crazy, and I'm back for another Tip Tuesday. It's my favorite time of the week when I share my tips, tricks, hacks, and recipes that I love to share with my family, and we hope that it'll be an encouragement to you as well. So tonight I'm going to be making my favorite recipe that feeds a crowd. All the time I get asked, how do you feed a big family like yours for an inexpensive amount, and how did we do it on the road when we had very little capability for cooking in such a small kitchen for such a large family? And this recipe is so versatile because it was in our sticks and bricks, it was in our RV, and it's now back with us that we're stationary in our house. And so I want to share this because it is super affordable, it is really nutritious, and it's versatile for your family. We call this recipe our either black bean bowls if we're doing it vegetarian style, or fajita bowls if we're adding seasoned fajita chicken. And so there's not much to this that you need, except I use an Instant Pot because I think it's so much more simple. I can put my rice in there and walk away. We just have our toppings after that, and really it's up to you. We can do this meal for super inexpensive, and it feeds and fills up a lot of bellies. So stay with me because we're going to finish up this recipe, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
All right, so to start the rice, you need to put it in one of these colanders where the rice won't go through, and then you need to rinse it. If you're going to be doing your rice in an Instant Pot, you need to rinse it to get all the starches off, and it will cook much better in there. So make sure you rinse it until it runs clear. So I put just a cup at a time in here. I rinse it out really good, and then I put it in the Instant Pot and then add my water.
Okay, now that the rice is in the Instant Pot, and this is just if you're using an Instant Pot. If you are going to use it on your stove, just follow those directions. But some people want to know the way to best cook rice in Instant Pot. I usually get a burn warning anyway. I try my best to do all of that, but it always comes out perfectly, so I don't normally have to worry about it. But it is a 1-to-1 ratio, so I do 5 cups in here. Even in this smaller 6 quart, I'm able to do 5 cups, which is great for our family. So I do 5 cups of washed, rinsed, and kind of drained rice to 5 cups of water. So I'm just going to add that. Okay, so a couple of recipes just suggested in order to kind of lubricate and keep the burn warning from happening on Instant Pot. You can just put just a couple little swishes of oil in there. I don't know if it works. I still get burn warnings sometimes, but I do it anyway. So I'm gonna try it. Just a few little swishes. And then we can stir it up in here. Add some salt. And then you're good to go. So put your inner pot in there. Forgot my top. All right. And then on mine, I just do pressure cook, and I just do it for like 5 minutes is all I need for jasmine rice. Okay, so while the Instant Pot is going and the rice is cooking, and that takes a various amount of times because your Instant Pot will have to come up to pressure, and then it'll cook the 5 minutes, and then we'll quickly release that steam off, and then your rice will be ready to go. But in the meantime, while that's going on, to make things faster, you just go ahead and I take canned beans. Certainly you could wash and dry and soak overnight your beans, but I have found that we like it quick, we like it easy, and we like it affordable. And so I just use canned beans. And I put, for us, 4 cans in here. So this recipe is going to be for multiple cans. So there's 4 cans, and you do not drain it. You want the juice in there. So these are just black beans. You certainly could use any kind of beans that you like, but for us, we like black beans for this recipe. And then 4 cans will usually get our family through, and then also get us a little bit of leftovers, which we love because then that's lunch tomorrow. I don't have to cook that. So we're gonna put all these beans in here. All right, so now for the spices. So certainly in the past we have just done it. If you want it quick and easy, you can just have the black beans like this and just put more of your toppings on there. That's certainly fine, but bringing a little flavor to this is really, really nice. And so what I usually use is some cumin, some ground cumin. I use some dried oregano, some smoked paprika, which is really great, and then just minced garlic. So for this recipe, because I have quadrupled it, I am going to use 4 teaspoons of garlic. So that would be 1 for each can. You would use 1, or as much garlic as you want. I don't think you can, do that wrong. So however, this is all to taste. And then we're going to do, for one recipe, it would be 1/4. This is easy, 1/4 a teaspoon of the other 3. So 1/4 a teaspoon of smoked paprika, but of course I have more cans in here. So I'm going to do that 4 times. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon of your dried oregano. I'm gonna do that 4 times. And certainly if you don't like any of these, you don't have to include them. We just happen to like this recipe. And then the ground cumin, we'll do that 4 times. And then of course, just salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so the Instant Pot is done. So the rice is finished. It has beeped. We're all done. We can just push cancel. And then what I do when I am trying to release the pressure on my Instant Pot is that I cover up the steam mechanism so that I don't get burned, and also so it doesn't just ruin all of my cabinetry because it's right up there. So, and then I just reach over and just turn this off, and be careful because all the steam's gonna come out. So I just cover that up, and then I wait for the steam to let out. Meanwhile, we're over here and this is warming up. So our beans are cooking up. They're gonna warm up and simmer for a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, and while the beans are cooking and the rice is depressurizing, I just get out our toppings. So what we like to do is just add kind of some Tex-Mex toppings. So we have some Fiesta cheese, we have some yummy salsa, we have guacamole, and then a trick that I use sometimes instead of sour cream is I use plain whole milk or Greek yogurt. That adds the tanginess that we're looking for in sour cream, but this one gives us some probiotics and doesn't have any sugar or any added things. So these are the toppings we used to like. Sometimes we dice up grape or plum tomatoes, and we'll put fresh tomatoes when they're good and in season. But we know that salsa can always give us that yummy taste. You could also use diced tomatoes if you don't want the salsa, but you prefer the tomato. We find that gives a freshness and a little bit of extra hit of veggies in there, and then the guacamole is super smooth and the cheese is just yummy. So these are just the toppings we normally use, but you could add anything that you want that looks good to you. So my steam has finished, and so carefully I can take this off. And then I didn't get a burn warning this time, so that's a success. Always a success when you don't get a burn warning. You understand if you're an Instant Pot owner. And then the rice is ready to go. We're just gonna take a fork and we're gonna stir it up. And then once the beans are finished simmering, then we'll be ready to assemble. right, so the line has already started. All we do is put in however much rice everybody wants. And we do a nice portion of the black beans. And if you want to do a vegetarian, then you just stop there and then you go ahead and you put all your toppings on it. If you want to add some seasoned fajita chicken, you can do that too. Either way, it's just a really affordable and a quick, easy, and on the table, and it feeds a crowd, and it's really filling. So I hope this works for you. Leave me a comment below if you try it, or if you have something like this that you suggest. We'd love to hear from you. Bye guys.